This is part 2, which you can find in this video icon. It'll explain more about this particular set of records, and to keep it kind of short, I cut it into 2 different videos. On the client services data screen where we set up the appointment that we were talking about, I wanted to point out that these blue areas with underlines on them, if you click on these, what it does is it's going to take you to either the services screen where you can edit, in this particular case, some of the information in this screen that is a services, or if you go back to the booking screen, these will go to and I'll explain what it does. On the iPad you have what's called scrollers, and if you're in a scroller on the iPad and you need to edit this field to add something different to it that is not available already, and you should only be adding, not taking away from, you want to click on this button and it's going to come to this particular screen where you can click Add New Record and then add a new thing in this field up here to change this. If you're just setting up this app for the first time and you want to edit these, by all means go ahead and edit these and change them to whatever you want to have in here. You can put an infinite number of things in here if you want to. I don't suggest that, but you can do that. If you want to return to the pet services screen, which is the booking screen, you would come back over to the booking screen, and in here what you would do as far as this area is concerned is you can also do the calendar. And what the calendar is, it's the Google Calendar that you're going to need to have an account, which is free, but this allows you to use the booking calendar for your business in the business type of scheduling stuff. You don't have to put your own personal business type stuff in the main calendar. You can also put it here. Let's go back to the booking and assignment screen. Back here, I will be covering these separately, but there is a product services ad portal, a product services sales information, a product services report. Each one of these will be covered separately in a different video. Going to the billing screen, there's going to be a separate video for this screen, and basically what this does, it'll explain the putting in invoice information, and this acts as an individual history of all of the stuff that was charged to this customer. And then there's a separate invoice that is set up in here, the long invoice, where you bill the invoice for the individual or date range or other ways you want to bill from in this area, and we'll cover those separately. There's also a payment area, so that if you bill over here, you can take the payments here, and you can have time payments if you want to, and I'll cover how that's done in this. Location. Location we'll cover in this screen, and basically what this is MapQuest, where the person's address from the regular person billing goes in here, and there's another one over here for if you want to do a business, where you can put any location or the business location by typing it in. This particular location on the other one for the business uses the probably for the customer, uses the customer information to fill in the screen. You can also get directions in this screen, or you can hide the map by saying clear map, and then you can see the whole screen, or clear the map in order to see the entire map in the screen. You can get directions, like I said, and that'll be turn by turn, street by street directions. The data portal I'm going to cover separately. This is kind of an interesting portal. And as I stated earlier, if you wanted to go back to the appointments, you can click on this. You can go to the main menu, clicking here. You can go to the service listing, which we're going to cover later. And as I pointed out, and I'll cover again, the submit and cancel, or if this is a cloud application, you're going to be required to submit time or the records after you edit them before you leave the screen, or cancel the input that you made, one of the two. You don't have to worry about these if you're using it on the iPad or the desktop application. This area down here includes, in this case, the European calendar dates, the time this record was actually created, the modification for the last time it was modified, the time it was modified, and over here you can click on the header over here in order to create different users so you can find out who actually added or edited the records by changing this. And you'll notice when I come back to the main screen, this is retained, so you can see anybody who made the last modification if they put their information in there. This has got one of those scrolling screens where you can add a new record in here if you need to. Point out this right here, which I didn't cover, that if they have a URL in here for a website, clicking this button will take you to that website. There's the booking listing we showed earlier is here, And there's another booking listing, and I'm going to show this. It shows you the dates by date, so you can see an actual running thing. If you want to print it, you can have a scheduled list view, and this would be in date order, and it shows all the information about the pet name, the client, the type of pet, the booking date when it's required to go out to the booking, and all that other information. The dog's name, in this case, is called Arf. He's a male, and you can see what the information as far as the services are concerned. Now, I'll point out one last thing. When you go into this record, these are sample records. Do not delete them. Just overwrite them. Just go ahead and go in and change the information or delete the field information if you're not going to use it here. That way you can update these without having to delete them. If you delete them, they're sequential, and you have to know something about these. If you delete them, then anything that's in here will also need to be deleted before you delete the main record. It's best just to go into the portal record and hit the delete button, and the delete button will delete that particular record so that you do not have to use it if you don't want to. So in this case, this is the parent record. The records that I'm showing you beyond here are called child records. All the child records have to be deleted before you can delete a parent record. If you have questions or you're confused by what I'm saying, please contact me by email or go ahead and call me on Skype to get answers to your questions. Thank you.